Okay, I'm back, and let's talk about density for just a minute. Densities, you sort of have to go through my handwriting and decipher it sometimes. Now, I've got a great video on density from Paul Anderson that I'll put it up in just a few minutes, and you can look at that first, and then we're going to learn how to solve some density problems. Now, there are 4 steps to solving my chemistry problems usually. So I'm going to say steps to solve all or most chemistry problems. Okay, and I'm just going to underline that here. Now the first step, number 1, is to read the problem and pull out your information. I call it info. Step 2 is to write the equation that you're going to use to solve this problem. So I write EQN for equation. Step 3, we're going to plug it in. And then step 4, if you couldn't guess, we're going to solve. Now, this handles most density problems, but there's one problem when you have a cube involved, and that's going to give us an extra step to do. So let's say we have a cube, and I am no good at drawing, so you guys can just draw this better than me. Well, that's not so bad. And let's say, on a cube, all sides are equal. So let's say we're given a cube where one side is 5 centimeters long. So if one side is 5 centimeters, aren't the other sides as well 5 centimeters? So that's 5 centimeters for this side. This is 5 centimeters for that side. Okay, so in a density problem with the cube is going to be what gets you the volume. Now, if you remember back from earlier math about the volume of a brick or a cube or whatever it is, volume is equal to length times width times height. So this is going to be like an extra step in our problems, which we can put under the first step. And so then you're going to have to put 5 centimeters times 5 centimeters times 5 centimeters. Now you got to put your units there, or else it's going to be -2. You'll have to multiply these. This is not adding, this is multiplying. 5 times 5 is 25, times another 5 is 125. Centimeter times centimeter is centimeter squared, times another centimeter is centimeters cubed. So if you leave some of this out, you're going to lose points. Now, I have a handout here. And on our equations, I think you guys remember from physical science, the equation for density is equal to mass divided by volume, m over v. And the easiest way to get these other 2 equations, when you're looking for volume, you just swap out the v and the d. So volume is equal to m divided by d, and mass is equal to d times v. Now I could show you how to derive this from Algebra 1, but I think it's just easier. The main thing is to remember this guy right here. Okay, now we got these problems here, and I'm going to show you what you do to solve these problems. So let's look at the first one here. Calculate the density of a material that has a mass of such and such and a volume of such and such. Step 1, pull out your information. Calculate the density. So D is equal to the question mark. Don't put X, put a question mark. That has a mass of, M is equal to 52.457 grams. So we got 52.457 grams. And a volume equal to 13.5 cubic centimeters. Draw your squiggly line. That's that first step, pulling out your information. Second step is you're going to write your equation. Well, we're solving for density, so obviously it's going to be D is equal to M over V. So on that kind of quiz, this would be like 5 points. Here's another 5 points. Draw your squiggly line. Now we're going to plug it in. So D is equal to, so you're going to say 52.457 grams. Don't put your units, it's minus 2. And that's going to be divided by your volume of 13.5 cubic centimeters. That's 3 steps. Now you notice I'm putting in the units. Don't put in units, it's wrong. You're going to lose points. So we're going to end up having 4 steps in this problem. And let me get my calculator set again. So we'll put in 52.457 divided by 13.5. So we get 3.885 for the first 4 numbers. Now the question is, how many significant figures are we going to put our answer in? Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because all non-zero numbers are significant, and we've got 3 down here. So we go with the fewest, so we're going to have 3 sig figs. So you pull out 1 more from the calculator than you need sig figs for. So we pulled out 4. Now we've got to round, so we're going to take our 3, and you're going to round that last guy, and 5 through 9 rounds up. You add 1 to this, so it's going to be 3.89, and we're in grams per cubic centimeter. Put a rectangle around that, your answer, or else you're going to lose a point for that. So on my quizzes for density, scores are pretty good, but I take out for a lot of little mistakes. It's got to be just like this. So you don't just put numbers in and get your answer, because if you just put that, you get 5 out of 20 points. But if you had these steps in place and you mess up on that last step, well, then you get 15 out of 20 points. Everything counts when it comes to solving chemistry problems. Units, significant figures, you name it, it counts. And let's go ahead and do, I think, number 4. Because here we're going to solve for the mass. So let's see what we can do here. So we're going to get our information again. So we're going to go ahead and we'll quicken up a little bit. Let's see. So the density of silver is equal to 10.49 grams per cubic centimeter. And then if a pure silver has a volume is equal to 12.993 cubic centimeters, then what is the mass equal to? That gets the question mark. Okay, so mass is equal to D times V. That's your second step. Third step, you're going to plug it in. So I'd like for you to go sideways on this, and there's a reason why. 49 grams per cubic centimeters times it by volume, 12.993 cubic centimeters. Because you can see that this cubic centimeter is in the bottom, and this guy's on top. So they're going to cancel out. Put your squiggly line. In this case, I ran out of room because these numbers were pretty big. Okay, so I'm just going to scoot it down here real quick. So you're going to be in grams, and how many sig figs are we going to have? 4. Okay, so let's do the calculator deal again. So we got 10.49 times 12.993. That's equal to 136.29. Want 4 sig figs. This guy rounds up, equals to 136.3, and we are in grams. Put a rectangle around that. I hope I didn't make any little mistakes somewhere. So that's your 4th step, and we're going to wall it off from wherever we put it. So you're showing your 4 steps, putting all your units to your significant figures. This is 4 because we had 4 here, and we had 5 here, so we had to have 4. Okay, and so I'm going to upload this handout, and you're going to do the rest of these guys. And so here this will be. So anyway, that's the end of this video, and I'll try to upload this.